There's developments.
And the Patriotic Alliance holds the key there in terms of whether the Mayor, Ethel Trollip, will stay or go. Let's go there.
To pull out, so to speak, or abstain.
Jade, I'm very pleased that you've posed your question in that way, asking me why the change of heart. A person who has a heart can change it. And when you engage like we have, and I can tell you that we sat throughout midnight. There's Councillor Banga, who has been part of such sittings. When it was their turn, we sat with both camps. And the change of heart came when we listened to both camps. And I want to state some things here which you guys are not aware of. When we listened to the local councillors of the EFF revolting in silence against the utterances made by the national leaders towards the Patriotic Alliance, insulting us, unrepentant fraudsters and thugs. Now here is a man talking with no criminal record. So it doesn't fit, the glove doesn't fit. The EFF came with no political substance. Equally so today in chambers. There was no politics, but referring to a rule of order which is there, which guides us, but yet the agenda items reflects back to March. That was before council today. So there's no substance in when they come up in defense of anything. I was pleased to see the councillors here revolting against their leadership for uttering those things to us. And in our NEC meetings, which we have had of many in the last week, a question was asked: how can you work with somebody insulting you in the way they have just did? Now let me tell you something. The Patriotic Alliance has got no funders. The EFF must not act as if they are our funder and can do with us what they like. So we had to take a decision in the interest of what is best. Yes, there have been cracks. I've made it public saying that I would like to withdraw from the coalition, and I've raised that with my party. And that caused us to sit round table and discuss. Of course, in any relationship, you take your bag and you go if you're not happy, which I did. But while the EFF was busy insulting us, the coalition partners was busy mending things. And we came up with a workable plan, which the Mayor has articulated yesterday in a meeting that we are going to workshop, the co-governance agreement, of which we were not a part of, but fairly so, we were not a part of, because that was constructed in our absence. So now we'll have a chance to sit and discuss that to make sure that we oil the wheels for smooth way going forward. Thank you.
Martin, also, there were talks or rumblings that the reason why you are back in the DA now is because the EFF and the UDM proposed that Mongameli Bobani be the mayor, and that is why it was an insult to the PA. Yeah. Is there any truth to this?
The substance there, of essence, is the fact that the EFF came and said that yes, they want Councillor Bobani to be the next mayor, should the motion to remove the executive mayor, Councillor Trollip, be successful. That is true indeed. The Patriotic Alliance has no issue with that, because if you reflect on a statement released last week, we said we are not interested in the position. There was a democratic process, and I can say it is all other parties, the only parties who voted for Councillor Bobani to be the mayor was the EFF and the UDM. All other councillors, all other parties, all other leadership of the respective opposition parties said there were democratic processes followed in Braamfontein at EFF headquarters last week and Tuesday. Those democratic processes resolved that the Patriotic Alliance should be the next mayor, should Councillor Trollip be ousted. And the parties there now said no, they cannot allow the EFF to have a meeting outside the meeting where democratic processes were followed and come back and then say they have now decided in some alley, in some corner, that Councillor Bobani must be the mayor. And it was the principle of the democratic processes that made the other parties say this is not accepted. But from a Patriotic Alliance point of view, we've made it very clear in our statement that we are not interested in that position.
Thank you. Are there any other questions about the meeting?
Mayor, what about the meeting party situation? Do you, as the DA, then still trust the PA, considering the back and forth situation? Can you just comment?
There's a simple answer to that question. Councillor Daniels is sitting right next to me on my right, and that's the answer to the question.
You were seated at the right hand of the Father.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to check. I could see in the agenda that there is an item that is submitted by the Democratic Alliance to receive that decision of disposing the position of the deputy mayor. Why the change of heart? Because you actually said there is no need for that position in the city. And secondly, on the side of you, Mr. Daniels, are you interested in that position if it becomes available?
I'll answer both the questions. First of all, when the Patriotic Alliance were in the coalition with us in the first time, there was an impasse because the seat was not vacant of the deputy mayor. So we could not fulfill that request. Secondly, the Patriotic Alliance are interested in that position. We have made a commitment, all 60 of us, that we will support that. That's why it was on the agenda. There's a mover, there's a seconder, and Councillor Daniels has accepted the nomination. We're going to proceed with that, and we're going to get it to happen when the council sits at the next opportunity. But here's the other thing. We are not just going to sit here and wait with 60 people. We continue every single day talking to other political parties who are becoming embarrassed by what is happening here. Because other political parties are fighting for growth. The ANC is fighting for survival. Now, if you want to grow as a political party and you attach your boat to a sinking ship, you're going to get sucked down with that ship. So other political parties are making these assessments. As Councillor Banga said, this is a construction site. So they're not just going to sit there forever watching the ANC ship go down, sucking them down. Other political parties are reassessing their positions here. Their political leaders are looking at this. They're looking at this joke that's unfolding here. So when we come back to council, don't be surprised that we don't have 61 or 62 or 63 votes, because we are doing everything in our power every day to stabilise this government. And Councillor Daniels and the PA coming back has brought stability. When the next party comes with their councillor, we'll get more stability. We are determined to finish this term of office. And at the end of 5 years, over the next 3 years, this city will hardly be recognisable. In fact, some of the people that walked out today, that have hitched their little boats to the ANC ship that's going down, or even encouraging people to destabilise and disrupt the Iron Man. I wrote to the President last night to say that there are ANC and UDM councillors that are instigating disruption of the Iron Man. Now, I just want to make a point about that. The World 70.3 Ironman Championships is not a city event. We had to get national permission from the minister. We got that permission. It is now an international event with 5,000 athletes coming here, the biggest gathering of foreign athletes after the World Cup. Any incident that disrupts or could potentially disrupt the Ironman would be an embarrassment to this country. We are in this city focusing on tourism and sports tourism in particular. We have massive unemployment. Tourism is the best way to address it. So you've got political parties and individuals that are going around stirring up strife to get people to disrupt the Ironman. We are not going to accept that. Written to the Minister of Police, the Minister of Intelligence, we've spoken to the local SABC. We are determined to make this city a city that we can all be proud of. And those that don't come along with us, they will be punished at the polls. I'm convinced about that. So that's where we are, and that's what we're doing together. Last question.
Councillor Daniels, I just wanted to ask you, speaking of changing of the heart and all of that, did the apology you received from the 2 DA councillors with regards in Mako, with regards to the job situation for unemployed matriculants from the northern areas, contribute towards you changing your heart and returning back to the coalition?
Anybody who is man enough to own up and stand up and apologize must and will be respected, in my view. And it is only because of respect for people that you can find yourself being able to work with such people. You cannot work with people if there's no respect amongst you. And that, yes, indeed, did play a part, a major part in the change of heart.
Thank you, Jade.
My question just to you is that I know that there
Again, me.
Yeah.
Okay.
There has been some tension between you and the Mayor, Mr. Trollip. Have you guys resolved any of the issues behind closed doors?
I'm not really one that speak out, Mayor, as you know. Can I pass the question to the Mayor? But I will not in a positive way.
Look, I can tell you that I've been disappointed by Marlon joining and leaving the coalition and coming back again and leaving. I have been disappointed about that. But he and I have never had a bad word. We've never had an argument, never shouted at each other. In fact, when they left the first time, I had the most cordial call from Gayton McKenzie, who just said, look, we're out. We didn't recriminate against each other, say nasty things about each other. So there's been none of that. I was disappointed, naturally, because I'm responsible for the team. And if one of my team members walks out of the team, I must take responsibility for it. So I was disappointed. We've never had problems. We've made commitments that we will meet, we will talk, we will find a common path of mutual understanding and respect. As he said, I quoted a parable this morning in our caucus, and I also not only spoke about the prodigal son, I spoke about the lost coin and the lost sheep. When you lose one of your members, you must go and find them. And when they come back, they are treated equally. None more precious than the other coin, no sheep more precious or less precious than the missing one. And that's the way we work in our team. Last question, please. I've got work to do.
Councillor Manet, are you not concerned about this flip-flopping, that the damage that is going to do to the Patriotic Alliance? Because if you look, starting from the motion that you put against Mongameli Bobani, to you, it seems like it's more about the position, not about the interest of the people of the land.
Sorry, with respect, that question's been answered. No, it has been answered. It's been answered thoroughly twice. So this is a press conference where you put the questions, we put the answers. We've answered that question. And Councillor Daniels has done it twice. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, guys.
So yet another bid to unseat Ethel Trollip as the mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay unsuccessful due to disagreements amongst the parties. And as you see, that's how that story has unfolded today. We continue with the show now.